Facebook. I have 12 viewers.
All right, I'm going live on Instagram.
Sounds good. Hey, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Renewed Talk. It is Elaine Janelle on the mic, and I'm here with some great people. And we're talking about art, and we're talking about the mind of the artist. All right. So, if you're checking this out for the first time, my name is Elaine Janelle. I'm leaving everyone. And the New Talk is a podcast that I started probably almost 5 years ago. So we're going to share some great conversation. And if you like what you hear, share with other people. And also, if you like what you hear, ask questions. And we'll throw the questions out there. I just want to introduce everybody. So I have on here, I have Mr. Jacob Holmes as my co-host,
Hey
who, if you
everyone.
haven't heard him before, he joined us on the first episode for 2019 in January. And we talked about love in the Black church. And the other person that is here is my special guest for tonight. And she is also family to me. I'll put it out there in the beginning. She is my cousin, and she is a great friend of mine, and she's also my sister. And when I say she's a great friend, sometimes people who are cousins do not have to be friends. So Shanice is here, and she can tell you a little bit about herself. Go ahead, Shanice. Tell people who you are, where you're from.
My name is Shanice Dalton. I'm an artist from West Philly. Um, I'm 30. I just turned 30 March 15th. And yeah, so this is my first interview. I'm kind of grateful that it's my cousin doing it. And I'm really excited. So yeah.
This is good. Yeah. So it's been 1 month since she's been 30. I mean, has it felt different? Does it feel any different?
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
No. I just
Okay,
hear
hold on
Jay's
1 minute.
background.
You hear Jake's background.
You hear my background, man?
Yeah. I
Hold
can't
on.
hear her.
Let's
Hold
work
on 1 minute.
something
He
out
said,
here.
hold on 1 minute.
Let me see if I can mute it.
Oh, yeah,
All
you
right,
can
how
mute.
about now?
I think you can mute it until you're ready to talk.
Is that
Oh,
better?
yeah. Okay, Janelle.
Okay. So what my first question that I just threw out there was, you've been 30 for a month now. How does it feel?
Actually, it's cool. Like, I didn't think I didn't think it would really make me feel different, but it really did. Literally, the night I turned, like 12 o'clock hit, and everybody was like, "Oh, how old you turn?" I'm like, "I turned. Wow, I'm 30." So, everything's been looking up. I feel like doors being opening. I feel like 30 is the year of blooming for me. Um,
Okay.
yeah, things are really just unfolding from within, and I'm watching things like around me kind of just like, and that's the word that I came up with is blooming. Like I feel like that's 30 for me right now.
Wow. That's good. I like that. So, with everything blooming, I'm going to get into the questions about the brand of her and Bells as we get closer to the end. But something I want to talk about in the beginning is, when did you start um, drawing? Like, when did the passion first start?
when did i when did I start painting? When did the passion
Yeah.
start?
When did you just start like even drawing and painting in the beginning?
Well, initially I have been doing all kinds of arts and crafts and stuff like that since I was little. So my mom told me she didn't know, she never saw a 3-year-old who could color in the lines. So I guess like from then, my parents would put me into things that has to do with arts and crafts and things like that, and kind of went on from there. So since I was a kid,
You said so. 3 years old, you were coloring in the line.
yeah, that's what I was told.
You was neat with it.
Yeah.
That's good. So, since coloring in the lines, when did you realize that this was something that you liked to do? Like as a child, before you even hit adulthood, when did you realize this was something you liked to do?
As a child, maybe like elementary school, when we would go to the toy store, I stopped wanting toys. Like I wanted things that I could create with. Like back then there was these I don't know what it's called, but it was like color with the dots. That so you use this bubble paint. Your mom used to buy them for us, and we would sit and
Oh,
we
the
sit
bubble
at
back.
grandma's
Yeah,
house.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and like color all these dots, and then like I wanted like tie dye machines to make tie dye shirts. Every little thing I wanted had something to do with just making something. So that's when I noticed that that was something I really like to do. I didn't care about Barbies and stuff anymore. Um, as a teenager in high school, well, middle school, I don't think I really cared, but my art teacher recognized something and then sent me to art school. And in high school, I literally skipped almost every class to go to the art class, the art room, to
That's
finish all
funny.
my projects before everybody else. So that's when I think like I stepped like full throttle into high school because I'm like ditching everything to do it.
Gotcha. Give me one moment. I am pausing for a moment. Not the actual show. The broadcast is still going on. People are still watching. Hey guys, everybody's on Facebook. The problem is the sound is coming through from his car, and the screen keeps going back and forth. So if
Yeah.
anybody's watching
Well,
on
how about this?
Facebook,
I'm gonna be where I'm going in like 20 minutes, and I'll log back in with y'all
okay,
so I'm not making
all
too
right,
much
Okay.
noise. All right,
okay,
so give me like 20 minutes, and I'm gonna call back.
okay,
All right, look.
all right.
Hold on. Hang on.
Shanice,
Yeah.
yeah. So what it was doing was every time that every time you were talking, it was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I said, I'm gonna give the viewers whiplash.
Uh,
I didn't want to do that. So I didn't know you started using bubble paint. How old were you again?
you were like 7.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
And
like
so go ahead.
no, I was just saying we were like dumb young, like 7, and I can remember me and our cousin Josh like at the table and Puff and all of us sitting at the table squeezing out the little paint dots and making
Right, right.
yeah, with
That's cool.
your mom and my grandma.
Got it. So what? Okay. What transcended that? Because didn't you go to now? You can correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't you go to Moore College of Art in the summer? Didn't you do a couple summers there?
Yeah, that was like 5th grade, so I was about like 10, and then my art teacher entered me in a contest, a sickle cell contest. My favorite group back then was TLC, and I found out that T-Boz had sickle cell, so I used her as my inspiration. I painted this. Well, I drew this picture of her in the bed and someone by her side reading her book. I got honorable mention, and then that went on to me having scholarships to do free art classes on Saturdays in the summertime. And from
That's
then,
brilliant.
so from then, so like middle school all through high school, my teachers entered me from then on. Like so every summer, or every summer I was there on Saturdays taking new classes.
And around what age did you stop going?
And I graduated high
Well,
school.
okay, okay. So with that, do you feel like that was kind of like within yourself? Do you feel like there was a time when you were birthing or beginning what you were doing with art? Do you feel like that was the time where it first started?
If I look in the spiritual realm, yeah, but I had no clue. Um, but if I'm being just like regular, I'm like, I don't know. I don't feel like I learned anything. I think it was just back then. It felt like just something to do. Like it felt good. I liked to do it. It was fun. that's what I'd rather do.
Hmm.
I don't think I really understood what was happening or what was being poured into me yet. It was just like I don't know. I wasn't a normal kid like everybody else was outside playing. I was like on Saturdays there. I don't know.
Got
So
you.
I guess like if being an adult now and looking back, yeah, I do think that was the beginning of some of what it is now.
Hmm. Hmm. And so transcending into that because what I started thinking about because I have known you all your life. I started thinking about the aspect of when did you realize that it was a passion? Because I mean, do you consider yourself being a creative soul?
Yes. I wasn't ever really looking at it as a passion before because I was into so many things. I wanted to be so many things. I was never really concrete on what I wanted to do and be. I was just kind of wandering. Um,
Hmm.
so as you know, I put it down. Uh, I don't know. I can't remember in high school if I wanted to be like this famous artist. I remember always saying I don't want to be a starving artist. Like when people say, "Oh, you should do something with your art," and I'm like, "No, artists are poor and hoping people buy their art, and they don't make any money, and I don't want to be this broke artist." So I was like, "Nah, like this is just something that's fun." It kept me out of trouble. It was just fun.
Hmm.
Um, and then from then on, I worked or I went to school, and I was doing hair. So I kind of left it alone for a while. So I didn't. It wasn't that important to me when I was
That's
younger.
it's interesting because you were very honest with yourself. I think even as most young people are, um, when they realize what can or can't bring them money. So you was just like, I don't want to be a starving artist. Once when you realize it, because sometimes we want to be things and we don't realize what it can or can't, how it can or cannot benefit us. So with you saying that, I'm wondering when did it transition where you decided to go back and to look back into it? Like you started doing hair. What did that? Was there ever a connection between you doing hair and then deciding to go back into spending more time doing visual arts?
uh, no, there was no connection. I completely left art alone. Like it was no longer a part of me after my nana died. After I graduated high school, to me back then she was my biggest fan. I could scribble on something and she would act like I deserve this big award. When she passed away, I took it hard and I was just like, well, who else am I going to paint for? No one else cares. So I just left it alone. And then, truth, I got in trouble in 2004 and had to stay home. I couldn't really do anything. I was really restricted. And my other grandma, who I believe the art, trickled down from,
Mhm.
she was like, I was really angry and it was a dark time. You remember I didn't want to talk, I didn't want to come out the room, nothing. And she was like, she just brought me these canvases and this paint. And she said, well, maybe if she's like, you don't ever want to talk or do anything, maybe if you paint, that'll make you feel better. And I'm like, what? I don't even know how to paint. I literally looked at her like she was crazy. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I have not touched anything with art since high school. Like, no, it's not gonna work. Like, whatever, yo. And she she gave me this ultimatum, like, either you do this and try, or I'm not doing anything for you. Like, she wasn't gonna bring me no dinner, like nothing. I'm like, how dare you be so petty?
You so
Like,
funny.
I was floored. And then I just sat in my room. I didn't touch it. Like I didn't even take anything out the bag for like 2 weeks. Then one day, nothing was fulfilling me. Like Instagram, nothing. Like I was just so bored. I was like, oh my god, like nothing, music, nothing. So, um, I said, well, fine. I felt like, all right, this has to be God. Like you're punishing me. So I said, fine. And I don't know, I really talked to God just like this. I said sorry later, but I was like, fine, obviously this is something you want me to do. And then I opened it and I cried like a big baby for like half an hour because I was so mad. Like, I don't want to do this, but maybe she's right. Maybe this will make me feel better. I understood that God was trying to get my attention. So I felt like, he made it like that on purpose. Like nothing, it was nothing going to work until I touched that. I did pray and I gave it to him. I was like, whatever you want to do. And I have not stopped painting since then. Today, that's 5 years.
I was just about to ask you how long ago was it in total?
Yeah.
And
And remember when I said high school, I was like, I don't want to be no broke starving artist. funny how things change because now I have learned to embrace it. Like I literally will spend. I will have $10, and I'm like, I need more black. Like, and I would literally like what coupons can I find, or
Right, right, right,
I
right.
will borrow money. Like I will get my art supplies, and I'm not angry or depressed or like I don't feel how I felt in high school. Like I feel like there's purpose and like I don't want to say broke because like you have what you say, but
Hmm.
being like this starving artist, it kind of it built a lot of character in me. Like it made me hungrier. It made me pull out things inside of me that I didn't know were there. So that 17-year-old who was pissed off, like nah, at 30, I'm like okay, this is a part of the process. I get it. So
No, it's interesting that you said like the dynamic fully changed. You just went from I don't want to be no broke starving artist, and then it's like a dark situation. And one of the viewers who's on Facebook Live just said tough love when you was talking about your grandmom also like telling you like this is you have no option.
right.
You can paint.
Like you're not gonna bring me no food.
He pushed you. That was a push inspire you. Like she pushed you
Yeah,
because to inspire you to want to. And I one of the things I'm thinking about is like when you're in dark moments and it feels like there's no way out or you feel like there's nothing else you can do. It's only when those moments. It's only the push that will help you kind of get out of it.
yeah,
It's only the like, and then sometimes it's you pushing yourself or somebody pushing you.
yeah. I'm definitely a person who needs to be pushed. I learned.
When did you
early.
learn?
Huh?
I said, when did you learn that?
Early, like, like, don't be soft on me because sometimes I will get in my own way. Like, sometimes I let my feelings, like honestly, today, and I put it up on my Instagram, and I was like, I'm having a hard time wanting to paint. There is something in me that's wanting to, but like letting my feelings get in the way. It's blocking me from actually doing it. And then, but I learned for myself if I push myself, because
Mhm.
my mom's not going to push me to do something that I want to do for myself. Like, no one's going to push me to paint. It's going to be like, okay, well, you don't want to paint. Guess you don't want to paint right now. But it's something in me that needs to come out. So I learned that if I push myself, it's like once I start, then I get in the flow of things. When I learned that it's me getting started and then there's no stopping it, then I understood that. But so I learned like just get out your own way, just get out your feelings. That's hard for me because I'm like a big like emotional person. So
I just, I was just about to say, let me see if she says it.
right. So I'm probably gonna paint after this because now I feel like all right, it's not that bad. Like
I get what you're saying.
if we being real.
No, I mean, well, I'm saying this all those who are watching because once again, Shanice is my special guest. This is Renewed Talk for those who are just coming in. If you have never visited Renewed Talk ago before, if you never visited Renewed Talk before, welcome. But this is Shanice, and we've been talking now for probably about 20 minutes about art and about what has inspired her. And so, for those who are just chiming in, I just wanted to share that. And you can always follow us on Instagram or on YouTube. So I think that one of the things that have me like interested even more is that when you mentioned that you have to be pushed, and I'm like, so when you have these emotional moments when you feel like you get in the way, what causes you to decide, okay, this is a moment? Are there situations or things that occur that make you decide, okay, I'm going to draw today, I'm going to paint today, I'm going to like venture off and be creative today?
Um, uh, what?
Good question. No, and sometimes that happens with me. Sorry. What I was saying was, is there something that causes you to decide that
Okay.
I'm going to paint today?
What really causes me to decide is weighing my options of what I could do instead. I think that's what it is. Like, I could go to happy hour and just
Work
talk to
out.
my girlfriends about whatever I'm feeling, or I can go to sleep because
Mm-hmm.
I just don't feel like it. I'm mad, I'm sad, or like um I'm having a creative block or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I could just forget about it, or I could just try and see what comes of it, because still pushing through and deciding, to see what comes of it, even if it's something I don't like, I can
Mm-hmm.
change it. But it does make me feel a little better. Like people say, "Oh, what do you paint?" I know it's so soothing, and I know it's so euphoric, and sometimes it's actually not. Like sometimes it's nerve wracking. Sometimes I cry. I don't. I hate to be vulnerable, so it's like I get annoyed if I'm getting emotional while I'm painting in my own room with no one in here. I don't know why I'm like that. So if I'm too emotional, I just don't even feel like dealing with it at all. And I think that's my problem. But what makes me decide to still do it anyways, like, you know what? Because if I still just go ahead and do it, something can come out of this. Like I'll feel better, or I can make some money off of this. I could post it if someone wants to buy
That's
it.
true. That's true.
You know what I mean? But like if I just go to sleep, or if I just go out and spend some more money or something like that, like nothing gets resolved. Like I'm still gonna come back, and either way, I'm gonna end up paying. So also, what makes me decide to another thing is what I've seen come of me deciding to go ahead and push through whatever I'm feeling. When I pour my feelings into something, and like I'm talking about not even just my regular, like, but my overwhelming feelings, my
Mm-hmm.
paintings come out so deep to me.
Wow.
They come out very deep, because that's when I kind of break down, and then like I will pray first. Like I'm pissed off. Lord, help me to make this painting look real.
Mm-hmm.
Or you
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Like, or
Yeah,
I
yeah.
ask him to help the painting do something for someone else. And when I do that, I step back like, whoa, you did. So I don't know if you remember the painting that I called Orbit, but I sold that one um to my good friend Troy. And that one was, you were there for those times, but that one was a really emotional roller coaster those few months. And I didn't want to paint, I didn't want to be bothered, I didn't want to do anything. Like I literally will go outside and just walk around or just sit outside.
Mm-hmm.
And then I decided one night, the middle of the night, like 2 in the morning, got on live, and I didn't need no wine or nothing. I was just rocking out, and I can't believe so many people wanted that painting, but Troy got it. But yeah, I'm curious to see what comes out of me just deciding to do it. Is, I guess, to sum all of that up and answer the question, I'm curious to see, like, well, what would come of this, because this is too much.
Mhm, mhm. No, it's interesting because I think you shared something right there, like a breaking moment, like when it becomes a breaking moment where you decide, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. It's something else that you want to say that I want to tap on. Do you find your art as a sense of worship?
It's sometimes,
Okay, okay.
not all the times, because sometimes I am in my naughty girl bag, and this is what her unveiled is about. It's about just being real. You know what I mean? There are things that are going to fall off of me eventually as I grow as a woman, and I got a prophetic word about that. Like, don't worry about somebody judging what you paint or looking at you a certain way, because people may turn away from certain things because of who you are in the light and things like that. But and me being honest about the things that I feel, or the things that
Mhm.
I encounter, or the things that I do, whatever, and me being real about those things in my art. Oh, you went away for a while. And me being real about those things in my
Mhm.
art, I do believe that I'm growing. I do believe that there are things falling off of me. I do believe that I'm being delivered from certain things, because that's my kind of way of, like, how people write a journal. How they say,
Mhm.
like, write it
Mhm.
down and throw it away, or like that's me getting it out. And so I guess I would say, yeah, a form of worship. But sometimes it's me just like, I want to paint this, but
So I so even with you sharing that and how you just saying it at times it can be worship. I love how you just shared like it's a sign of growth.
yeah.
Like your art is a sign of growth. And do you ever look back? Okay, it's been 5 years. You ever look back at a painting from like 3 or 4 years ago and like think of where you were at that time when you created that? piece of art.
Yeah, yeah. I've looked at some paintings. I've covered some paintings and like done something over it because I'm like I'm not there anymore, and I don't want to share that. I don't want anyone to buy this
Mm,
because that was me literally just pouring out, and that's not me, and I don't want to promote that anymore.
got you. Okay.
So um again, what her avail is about is like things are going to constantly change. So it's like if you get stuck on the way I paint now, you'll be disappointed in what's to come next. You know, something else may go on in my life, or I may move or get in a
Hmm.
relationship or have a baby. Something's going to change, which is me unveiling another part of myself that is going to change my art.
Right, right.
With
That's
every
true.
change in with every change in me, my art would change because my art is me. It's me pouring out. Um, I just feel like if you like it, I'm grateful. If you can relate, I'm more grateful. If you don't like it, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. But it's not about the part that is about other people is me encouraging other women to to push past all your limits and your circumstances or anything that you feel is hindering you or holding you back from just doing whatever you want to do or
Mhm.
saying whatever it is that you need to say or being whoever it is that you feel you're supposed to be. Don't let anything hold you back. And that's the part of my art that is for everyone else. But the art itself, you know what I mean? Like it's not really it's for me. So that's what that's about. So it's gonna always change. So I know somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, you used to always paint this. Like, why don't you paint that anymore? Because I'm not there anymore. I don't like
It's
that anymore."
interesting. So okay, so here's my link. We have James Judah Rogers is saying, "Wow, Jules talking about this is good. Hey fam."
Hey,
The reason why I'm saying is because okay, so I'll share this about us. The fact that I of course sing, and I sing mainly gospel music and sing about Jesus. And Shanice is art like head. She's creative in a lot of ways. Art is the thing that definitely I feel like transports you to another like level. But one thing that I find very interesting is just from you saying that why don't you do this anymore? You're not there anymore. I feel like music is the same way. And
hmm
I know you have a huge love for music.
yeah, you already know. I'm like, why wasn't I a singer?
Huge love for music. And so it's interesting that you share that because I think in any level of artistry, there's a time where you're like no longer there. So if you write music, your writing style may change. If you if you do anything creative, it can be poetry, spoken word, it can be making clothes, and something like shifts in you. So it's when you just shared it, I said I think that's relatable, and it's very transparent, but it's
Yeah.
relatable across all artistic fields. It's really cool. So one question I did share with you before the show that I want to hear what you have to say about it is: do you feel like you chose art or art chose you?
I feel like art chose me, and I accept it.
So why do you feel that way? Like, what is the what? Why do you feel like art chose you? Because there was a time where you wasn't doing art.
I feel like art chose me because I feel like it chose me because it was already there. Like I really feel like God, He planted that. Like how you said, like He
Mhm.
knew you before you were formed, in your mother's womb.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that was already there. Like I literally had nothing to do with that. Like nothing at all. Like
Mhm.
I could just do it. I was a kid who could draw or who liked to do stuff like paper. Like me and my grandma would make paper dolls. Um, then from there, like I literally had no say. Like my parents, then they put me in this and put me in that. You know what I'm saying? When you're a kid, you
Mhm.
don't really get a choice. They saw something, they did this, and then as an adult, when I did have the option, I like abandoned it. And so then here I am in this place, and like I wasn't the one who thought of it, and I rejected it again. Like no, what are you talking about? Paint? Like I don't even why why was that what you thought of?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I had been out of high school for years, and you're like, oh, maybe if you paint, you'll feel better, huh? You didn't bring me a book. You didn't send me a scripture. You didn't bring me a CD. You told me to paint.
Right.
I was like, what? So I definitely didn't choose it. I definitely feel like it chose me. And when people say, are you self-taught? And I say, no, I'm not. Like, I believe that this was completely a gift.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I do think that God allows me to move it around how I want.
Right.
But then
Okay.
I hear my mom in my ear, like, only things you do for the Lord will prosper. So I'll switch up again, like, okay. And I'll change, my directions and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm grateful
Mm-hmm.
that He allows me to explore in it too.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't choose it at all. And honestly, if I had to do it again, I probably, like, still wouldn't have, because I was not thinking about it, but that's real.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's
I'm
honest.
grateful. I don't want it. I don't want it to ever go away. But if He was to say you got to let it go, I would, like. But like, no, I did not choose art. I was
That's
like,
honest though.
what am I'm not gonna make any money. I'm gonna be broke. I stayed in the hair salon. I'm like, no way. I'm just gonna be painting. Like, this is not. I'm trying to move out. Ain't nobody. Don't nobody care about art. They can go buy it. You know what I'm saying? Art is expensive. Don't nobody want to buy
Yeah.
no art.
Yeah. Art can be very expensive, and it's interesting that you share all those things. But I've okay, I can say I've watched you grow and
Yeah,
create like a demand for yourself, and not
yeah,
saying like you were demanding, but you kind of created a demand for yourself through social media. Like,
yeah,
correct me if I'm wrong.
yeah.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Okay,
Solely through social media.
so what I wanted to dive more into Her Unveiled, into your
Hmm.
brand, how you're building it, everything, the art shows, all of it.
Hmm.
And so, with us diving into Her Unveiled, tell the people what what Her Unveiled is.
As I said before, her unveiled. Okay, her unveiled started because, and I didn't know anything about branding, none of that. All I knew was like, all right, bet I could paint. What else? Like, and then people are like, oh, you need a logo. I'm like, what? I don't need all this stuff. Like, you need a post, and I'm like, ugh. But I was sitting one day and thinking about, and well, I didn't want to share my art when I first started. Like, I
Hmm.
wouldn't post it. I didn't make a big deal of it, and people were saying, "Oh, the world needs to see this. You're being selfish."
Mm.
I'm like, I'm being selfish for not showing
Well,
mine. This is
on my
mine. And then, so in that time of being restricted and not being able to, really do anything, I had a lot of time to think. I had a lot of time to reflect, to think about some things about myself. And I had noticed, and it kind of like broke me down to myself. I noticed that I wasn't comfortable with showing who I really was. Like, why was I so afraid to show the world that I could paint? I have been a painter my entire life, but no one knew. When I first posted a paint, it was like, who did this? All these years you could paint, and people
right.
knew me for all these years and didn't know that I had this talent. And so I'm like, you know what? Okay, fine. I'll show it. And then one day I had this dream, and basically it was this woman, and she was all veiled up, and she was veiled, and she was like kind of, she had a bunch of jewelry on. She was this beautiful woman, but she stayed covered and kind of like timid, like didn't really want to show herself to the
Wow.
outside world.
Uh-huh.
And in the dream, the Lord told her, it's okay, you no longer have to hide. So that dream was so vivid, and I knew that it was prophetic. I woke up in the morning, I told my mom, and she was like, "Write it down." And then, like, I had it again, and then I understood that it was for me, like that it was me, like, because I would cry, like, okay, I would cry and say, I'm so much more than just a pretty girl. Like, I have
Hmm.
this, I can do this, I can do that. Like, I
Right,
care.
right,
Like, it's all this stuff about me. And it just seemed like people and guys, like, all they cared about, like, they were not trying to tap into who I was. You know what I mean? Like, why? And remember, I would say, like, why don't people want to go deeper? And then I had that dream. So I, because of that, I would hide. Like, y'all don't really cherish, the inward parts of me. You don't want to really know who I am. So I'm just not going to. Like,
Mm,
so
mm.
you got what you
Yes,
got. Like, I
yes,
could be cool and
yeah,
chill and
yeah.
fun, things like that, but I wouldn't really open up. And so, no, you didn't know that I could paint. You didn't know that I could do a bunch of things, because why? And so after the dream, he said, you no longer have to hide. And she pulled the veil back.
Mm,
Also,
mm.
I saw, I'm upset. Like, I'm going to get married. Like, I dream about my wedding. Oh, like, I'm
What
obsessed
about?
with marriage. And I connected that with, I kept thinking about it like, you don't gotta be afraid. You don't gotta be afraid to show yourself. You can take the veil off, da, da, da. And I
Mm-hmm.
saw her at the altar and unveiling. Again, I kept seeing, because every time I turned around, something was unveiling. And I'm like, yo, unveiled. Then, so that's all I had is unveiled. And then I was talking to my manager at the salon and trying to figure out, like, how do you get a logo and things like that. And we looked up unveiled and it was taken.
How about that?
So I'm like, dang. So then I was like, okay. And I was like, well, what do you have to do? I only want that. She was like, maybe you have to put a word in front of it. And we sitting there, and I'm like, I thought of me, her. Okay.
I'm
And
hot.
so I'm like, bet her unveiled wasn't
Well,
taken.
right.
So her is me, unveiled is me. And so then I came up with, you know what? I'm constantly growing. I'm going to be a new woman. You're a new person every day, every year. You're not the same. And you shouldn't be if you're really striving to be something or someone or to
Mm-hmm.
grow. And so I looked at it like, I'm not the same as I was last year. I'm not the same as I was the year before. I don't know who I'm going to be next year. And so
Right. No,
I wanted to
I
stick with
agree with that.
something. I wanted to stick with something that would never change. Things get old. It don't mean the same
Mm-hmm.
thing. But
Mm-hmm.
her unveiled was constant. The only thing constant is change. It was constant, and I'm going to constantly be changing, and so will you. And so that it can relate to other women is why I named it Her Unveiled, because every time you look up, you're going to be like, woo. And then, like, all right, I'm starting to show myself now. I'm being honest. I'm being more transparent. I'm letting people connect to things that I've gone through, or what I'm aspiring to do and things like that. I'm unveiling another part of myself for you. I'm allowing you to see me. And I will constantly allow you to see me. I will constantly unveil myself, unveil my truths and my experiences for other women to do the same thing, to
Right.
grow in some kind of way. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like your purpose is not only for you.
No, not at all. And so, with you saying that, had there been any testimonials? Is what they call them
Dog.
sometimes.
Like, I be like, what? Why do you guys feel I should live? Like, I'm so honored. Yeah, but really, it was kind of mind blowing. Like, people, they talk to you. Your art is doing this and that, and sometimes I don't even tell what the art is about, but excuse me, I allow you to see what you want to see in it, and if it moves you and it's breaking
Mhm.
something down in you,
Yeah.
then that's all I needed it to do. You don't need to know what was behind it, like, because what I put into it, God may turned it around for you into something else. So I just let
Right.
it. I think it that also inspires me. When other people are inspired by my art, it inspires me.
This is good. So I'm glad you share even the birth experience. I've never heard you talk about the birthing experience of your brand,
Uh,
and how you came. Because how long has it, you've had her unveiled for? What has it been? 3 years or is it 4?
I think it's 3.
Okay. And so now something that you do that I think is thoroughly awesome. Like when you, so I don't know what you call this. Is there a name you use for this when you sell your art on the street? Street
No,
art.
I well, if there is, I don't know what it is. Grinding.
So how has that experience been for you? Like being down Center City, off South Street, selling art. Like how has all that been? Or even when you, I know you do this live painting on Instagram, but I know also doing live painting at churches and open mics and services. How has that been?
Yeah, well, you asked me what.
I asked you two different things. You can answer both.
All right, ask the first one again. Ask the first one again for me.
The first one related to going on the street
How?
and
Oh, how's
seeing
that
your product.
experience?
Yeah, how was that experience for you? Because I know you just talked about when people are inspired by your work and inspires you. So how was that when you decided to go out and just lay all your art out there for everybody to view?
Well, my first experience with doing that came from a heartbreak,
Wow.
and I needed to just get out. I wanted to go outside, and I didn't know what to do with myself at all. So I asked my brother to help me. I had my grandma's car. And we just stacked up all the art. I don't know where I got this from. I just that's how I felt. And me and him went out and we went to Southtown. We thought like, where could we go? That we gonna see a lot of people. Front and south. So he helped me load up the car. We put a blanket down and stacked all the art up. And I was really fragile that day, but I was determined. I don't know. I just had this determined feeling inside, like I'm not letting this hold me back. Like I
Right,
ain't
right,
good at
right.
painting, but I could do something with my paint. So we went there, and that experience, it was a cool experience, and I was grateful that my brother was with me because it was hard. Like it was cool, but it was hard. Like it was character building. So people, have a lot of nude art, but all of my art is not. I don't consider my art lusty. It can be sensual, but let's be
Mm-hmm.
real. We're all adults. We're all, whatever. Like we not, you know what I mean. But people shy away from things, and the looks that I got, woo, they were so sharp. Like people would look and just turn their faces away from me. I
Wow.
would speak and say hello to people because I don't just sit there. I'm like, hi, how you doing? Come check out my art, and people would
Because you're
ignore.
friendly. Yeah, you're definitely a friend. You're a people person, but
They
all the way.
They ignored me. They turned their noses up. Some people, I did meet a lot of really, really nice people and made a lot of connections. But people were hard, like kids ran across my art. And oh, your mom gonna hit the bar that one if you break it. Um, so in some aspects, I felt good and
Mm-hmm.
like whoa, like the sky's the limit, and then like an hour later I would feel low, like oh my god, nobody sees me, nobody cares, people are mean, and I cried, and my brother was like, you don't let nobody make you feel like that, you ain't gonna be everybody's cup of tea, it's
Right.
okay. And so the next time I went out there, I got them same looks. I didn't cry and I didn't care because I was like, that's
Mm-hmm.
okay. So that experience was cool. I do a lot now. I love it. Shout out to, I can't remember her Instagram name, but my girlfriend, well, we're friends now. She was out there and she told me like this, what were the best times to do it, blah blah blah. And so that's my little spot. So on really really nice days, guys, check my Instagram to see if I'm going to front and south. I usually go between 12 and 3:30.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
and you asked about my experience with live painting at the church.
Yeah, pause before we go to the live thing. And what I find very interesting is though your first experience was crazy and you had to do all the crazy looks, you still went back again and again.
Oh
And like
yeah, I'm not a quitter.
that's why I wanted you to share, like, because some people, it can make you decide, all right, well, I'm gonna treat my art because art is very, I know it's very personable.
Yeah,
All of our creativity, anything that we create becomes very personable. So it's just like, wait, what? I can.
yeah. But
So
I also learned like everyone doesn't understand, and everyone's not comfortable. It like them looking away had nothing to do with me. You saw something that made you feel a type of way about something inside of you.
mm,
You don't even know me. You don't even know what this art is about. You don't know anything. You looked at a nude woman and it made you uncomfortable, but it made you uncomfortable for your own reasons because you had the same things that I painted. So,
well,
maybe someone can't look in the mirror and, admire themselves.
wow, that's
Um,
good. That's good, Shanice. That's real good.
yeah. So, I understood that everyone is not going to understand. And you're not going to understand also if you don't ask. So, everyone's not comfortable with talking about certain things. Everyone's not.
Mhm.
Some people are, in our generation, we're a lot more open with certain things, and everybody isn't. So Some people had kids and they snatched their kids away. I understood that. I'm not a mom, and but I'm an aunt, and I wouldn't let my kids sit and look at all these boobies. You know what I mean? I got it.
No, that's
But
true.
so
That's true.
when I, like we said before, like, and I'm still working on this part of myself. Like when you get out of your feelings,
Mm-hmm.
I was
Mm-hmm.
able to understand. You know what? Is that doesn't mean stop. If I never went back out there, I wouldn't have made my first night. I made 5 cells.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, now I'm not gonna stop. Well, I only be mad when the wind is blowing too much.
Well, today, I'm about to say, today the wind was crazy down here.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know what it was doing to Philly.
Yeah.
Yo. Oh, other question about live art. Because
Uh-huh.
when did you get into that? When did you start doing live art painting
So
for shows and
actually,
services?
pat yourself on the back because actually you kind of sowed the seed without really knowing. So when I went to this conference with you,
Oh,
and
Surrender. Shout out to
Surrender, yeah,
you.
we went to Surrender conference, and was it that time? Well, I met everyone there.
Mm-hmm.
It was the time I was with you, right?
It was. It was. It was the
Yeah,
first one in the conference.
and Jermel said
2016.
the crazy thing is like it's crazy how like God really does hear you because I didn't tell you, but I was feeling like oh like I always want to come to this stuff, but I don't fit in. Like I don't fit in because I'm not a musician. I don't sing. You know what I mean? Like I don't connect with all this. I'm not in no choir. And when he was getting to know everyone and said hello, and then he said hello to me, he said, well, what do you do? Do you sing? Do you play instrument? And I was like, no. He was like, oh, so you just saved. So you just saved? I was like, yeah. But I said, well, I paint. You paint? I said, yeah. He said, you know what? Would it be good if you painted right on the stage alongside the preacher? And you know what I mean? He was like, would you do that? Have you ever done it? And I'm like, no, I never did that before. He said, oh, such and such, take her to the art store, get her whatever she need. And that was the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Terrified, okay?
And I left you. That was fun. And I left you. Because I was even
Terrified.
able
I
to do
could
it.
not believe it. I looked all these people in this church. I said, oh my goodness. But luckily, but the good thing was, even though I wasn't a musician and didn't sing and stuff like that, I knew everyone. So all the musicians made me feel comfortable because I was fit. Because I was like, I'm turning my back to this church, y'all. And I was ready, like, they gonna have to trust the process because you get to see me start from scratch, and I'm like, they probably like, what is this girl painting this little kindergarten painting? And
Whatever.
uh, yeah, so they was looking at me like, you got this, come on. So I'm like rocking out to them playing the music, and I just zoned out. Like I said a prayer, like, all right,
Mm.
God, and I zoned out and I did it, and it was an amazing experience. I got off the stage after I was done and just like went down and sat down. He was like, "Where's the painter?" I'm like, "Oh me." Crazy thing is, and then that opened the door for me because a few months later, someone that was at Surrender
Right.
Conference. I
Right.
remember they contacted me and they flew me out to South Carolina. They paid for my flight, they round trip, they paid for my stay
It's
for the whole
crazy.
weekend. I went to paint at a school, at their school for a senior assembly, and come to find out, the person who put that together was the first lady, and the preacher was like, "Oh, you stand for church tomorrow?" And I'm like, "Well, sure. Yeah, oh, we might as
Mhm.
well paint
Yeah, right,
on
right.
Sunday." And then they had two services, so I painted at two services, and so like,
That's crazy.
yeah. So thanks for always taking me, letting me tag along.
You always would say tag along. I'm like, you're not a tag along. You crazy.
So yeah, that was cool. And now, it helped me business wise because now I get paid to live paint.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Get paid by the hour, so that's cool. And a lot of times I do it just to do it because it's just a cool experience or to help out, the ambiance of the event or whatever. Like I like to do it at open mics and things like that, but
Right.
I'm not afraid anymore. I still get nervous because people are watching you or coming up to you like, oh my god, what are you doing? But it's cool. It's cool.
So somebody, go ahead.
No, I finished.
So somebody shout it out here. One of my faithful listeners and viewers. Shout out to Don, Reverend Don. He was like, "Can we see any of your paintings? Is there like one or two or three that you wouldn't mind sharing with people who are watching live?"
Oh, like right now?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Okay. Okay.
Give her a moment, guys, for those who are watching, those who just chimed in. This is Renewed Talk with Elaine Janelle. We're live on YouTube and we're also live on Facebook for the first time. Like, I don't go live on Facebook. I think I haven't been on live. I haven't been live on Facebook in like a year.
All right.
So she's getting some paintings. This is Shanice, also known as Slim, with her brand, Her Unveiled. Go.
So here's one. She's biting down on a rose, so like the rose is gonna bend
Uh-huh.
down on.
Do you have a name for that one?
This no, not yet, but this comes from. I don't really name all of them. This one is how I said 30 is me blooming. So like I've been doing a lot of flower stuff lately.
Cool. All right. Blooming. I got to remember this.
This right here. Let me see if I can turn a light to it. Yeah. So this is definitely one that they like shied away from. Like, oh my god, she's naked.
Right.
But yeah, she's just she's liberated. She's up in the sky, just you know embracing being a woman.
Mm-hmm.
This one was inspired by Tiana Taylor, a photo shoot that she did. So I kind of took the idea of the way she was standing. My thing with the planets is, this is another. There's not much light, so you can't really see. So sorry.
Yeah. No,
But
the one in the corner. I was about to say the one in the corner. What is that a picture of? The top right above the door.
It was just a girl. I think that was a yoga pose. I thought it was cool.
No.
Trying to turn the camera.
Okay.
Oh wait, I have some more. You want to see?
Sure. Sure. People are watching.
Let's see. This is my best friend. She passed away in 2010. I painted her because her birthday is the day after mine. We always celebrate our birthdays together. And she just was one of my biggest cheerleaders. And so this year I had my art show on her birthday instead of mine. And so I painted her in remembrance. It took a long time. I would not look at her pictures.
Right, right.
Like, no, like I didn't nothing about her. But this year was a year, and I painted her, and it came out dope. All my other paintings are kind of tucked away, but yeah. So, the thing that I was talking about with the planets and like space and stuff like that is I'm a big daydreamer, and sometimes I'd rather be out there in the sky, just out there with the stars, if I had a choice, because it just seems so serene.
Yes. So do share everything that you're doing, anything that's coming up. Share your Instagram where people can find you, Facebook, even your her unveiled Instagram page. Because I realize that you have a page just for your art as well.
Okay, my Instagram is Pretty Slim. It is PrettySlim. My Hair Unveiled page, the link is in my bio, so you can just literally, if you go to my first page, you click it, takes you right there. I need to update it. I still put my art on my personal page, and I keep everything on my personal page because, like I said, my art is about just who I am, like everything that has to do with it. So what you see is what you're gonna get in the art too. So I don't feel like I have to really filter it out. I have nothing inappropriate on my page. It just all goes into one. I host Paint with Twists. I paint with the twist parties. I do it for adults and kids.
Mm-hmm.
I go to you. You set up the party. I'm not responsible for your whole setup. Like you put all that together, and then I come with all of the art supplies, and we paint whatever you want to paint. The kids really love it. The adults really love it. I have a good time. My favorite really are the kids though, because I'm like, whoa, y'all paintings are coming out better than mine. So I looked at this one little girl. I said, "Oh, I should have looked at yours." So it's cool to see, like kids. They're really. We should really work on nourishing, like whatever talents we see or gifts we see in these
That's good.
now.
That's real good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the same
You always
way.
have had a way with children, even when
Yeah,
you
oh,
were
I love
younger.
kids. Obsessed. I went like four. So, and with the adults, I usually people have their wine and stuff like that. I give you like 20 minutes to get that in your system so that you get a little loose. Because all they said, oh, I don't know how to paint. I never painted. And then
Yeah.
what's then it's like, what? I have all these Picassos. They be lying to me, but it's a
It's
bunch of
one way to
fun.
do it.
It's a bunch of fun. I get to meet all kinds of people. I enjoy doing it. Every now and then I rent out a place and I host them on my own, and so you guys would pay and just come to me, and it's BYOB. You can bring your own food and snacks and your own, whatever, soda, water, wine, whatever you like. Um, and so when I do it that way, I set the tone. The tone,
Mhm.
how I want it. We play the kind of music I usually listen to. Because I've gotten a lot of feedback about like, oh, we love your playlist, your vibe, and things like that. So I give you a chance to experience the way I would do things. Haven't done that in a while, but I'm about to get to it. You can listen. Well, look out for me when the weather breaks. I'm going to start doing them outdoors.
Oh
So they'll
wow.
be kind of like pop up, so you can meet me where I stay, and then we'll like kind of like picnic and paint. And so I'll be like, oh, bring your blankets, bring your snacks, and all that, and we gonna sit under a tree, and we had music, and we gonna paint. So nobody better steal my idea. Um,
We get copyright. It's recorded here. Look, it's
right. uh,
recorded here on YouTube and Facebook first. That's banking though. I like the
yeah.
idea.
Thank you. Yeah, and so my next solo art show won't be again. I have them every year, so I had three so far, and I usually do them in March. So March is because I used to be sad around my birthday because of my girlfriend passing, but now I
Right.
chose to do things that will uplift me and will be fun. And our show is just that. So this year was my third one for my 30th birthday party. So I'll have it again next year for in March again. So that's every year annually. I am working on doing an outdoor art show for this summer. So pray for me.
Mm.
Pray for me. And if I have any sponsors out there,
Yes, we welcome. We welcome all sponsors. We welcome
yeah.
all sponsors.
So it'll be like that. So it'll be fun. We'll have music and the bands and vendors and food. The only art will be mine, but it'll be a great time. So, Lord willing, that all works out like that. I want to do it at least in like July. So that's all I have going on right now. And that's it.
That's
So,
cool.
check me out.
Yes, Roosevelt chimed in. I'm gonna say hi to Roosevelt.
Hey,
Anybody
Roosevelt.
who has chimed on, I'm gonna shout out a few people real quick. Vera Isaiah. Oh, Chrissy from Baltimore. I just want to shout out Reverend Diamond, Jackie, Dante, Miss Carol, Lauren. And shout out also Mr. Antoine, Mr. Leroy, Rabbi Leroy. I want to shout out my sis, Jewel, my brother James, also known as Judah.
Hey,
And there's
y'all.
so many people that have chimed in tonight. Sims and it's Elder Gary. I just want to say thank you so much for checking us out tonight. Jake had to get on. I know he's trying to get off, but he's trying to get back on. But I just want to say thank you for everybody that's been listening, watching. We'll put up the full episode after a while on SoundCloud. You'll be able to watch it again and listen to it again on YouTube, not just YouTube, but iTunes and
Okay.
Player FM. Shout out to my cousin Candace who chimed in as well. So we love over here. That's what we do. Anything you want to share? Your last piece that you want to share, um, Shanice? Anything? Any words of encouragement for other people who are creative and are,
Don't stop.
say it again.
Don't stop. Use everything. Like, use literally everything. Use everything. Like, the good, the bad, the limbo. Like, use all of that. And um, I'll use my mom always says to me, seek ye first the kingdom of God. Because really, when you do it on your own, it's just not work.
Yeah. It's true.
Or or
That's
or
real
you'll get
talk.
something, but it won't go but so far.
Right. That's
So it'll
real
kind
talk.
of be like you wasted your time. So that's something that I'm learning, and just don't give up. Like, and be nice to your support system, and just like really be grateful. And um also sorry.
No, you fine. Go ahead.
Don't everything don't have to be paid for every little thing. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's okay to do a favor. You know, like we get caught up in like this is my livelihood. This is how I eat. I can't afford to do this, for free, or
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
afford
that's
to
what,
do so
yeah.
many favors, but you don't know what will come of that. And many doors have been opened for me just being a blessing to somebody else. So, with your blessing, who are you not to share it? So, that's my encouragement. Don't stop.
Yes. Well, I'm glad. Oh, you getting so much love and likes. Jewel gonna
Oh, what
fit.
they
Yes. But thank you to everybody who watched tonight and chimed in with New Talk. I took the month of March off so I could visit my cousin, her art show, but also recuperate for some things. So we are coming back at you with more episodes for 2019. And
say.
I can say this, I haven't said this yet, but I'm going to say it 'cause I got to speak it. We're going to do Renew Talk Live with a whole crew, meaning we're going to bring it to you live with a stage and with guests and everything, and that'll be coming at the end of 2019. So
Oh,
look out. Oh yeah, we're working over here.
oh, it's lit.
You know, I'll try to work silently. So anybody who don't watch this video, that's on them.
Nice.
You know, you'll tell everything. But we working through it. So support us, support Hermville, support Renew Talk. Thanks, guys, and have a lovely evening. Follow us on Renew Talk on Instagram, and also follow us. It's called Renew Talk with Elaine Janelle on YouTube. Have a lovely night. Thanks for checking us out. Oh, wait a minute. You gotta pray. I forgot to pray.
Oh,
I
pray.
didn't do my scripture in the beginning, but when I put it on YouTube, not YouTube, I keep saying it wrong. iTunes.
Okay.
I had my scripture in the beginning. But go ahead.
Who? I gotta pray.
You gotta pray. 'Cause I pray. I pray all the time.
Oh,
So my guests always pray. This is why I be telling people listen to the show before they come. So they
that
don't be
is
surprised.
lit.
Right, whatever. It don't have to be long. You don't have to call forth the winds and the waves.
All right. Okay. Bow your heads, please.
Yes.
Dear Lord, we come to you in the name of Jesus, and we just thank you for this show. Thank you for Elaine. I don't call her that. Thank you for Janelle. Thank you for the vision that you put inside of her and helping her to bring it forth. Um, we pray that someone has gotten something out of this interview today, and thank you for taking the jitters away. In Jesus' name, we pray. Amen.
Amen. So goofy. What's who we are? My friend Reverend Don talking about pray girl. I can't.
I am not a prayer out louder. Like I
I'll
will
pray
pray. I
out
pray in the
louder.
spirit out loud.
That's all right. As long as you pray, that's all right.
All right.
Thank you so much. And I
Thank you
will
for
see
having
you
me.
soon. Thank you so much. I will